think this Chicago Sky versus Brazilian national team at LSU, I actually think that's kind of interesting, if for no other reason.
Twin Towers. Hey, we excited. We excited to see what Camilla and Angel Reese can do.
And I believe she eventually will. 6'7". She got championship pedigree. We know how special she is.
What if I told you Angel Reese missed 3 wide open layups and only grabbed 4 rebounds in her preseason debut? Meanwhile, Napheesa Collier showed what a real WNBA star looks like, shooting over 61% for 26 points. The question nobody's asking, are Chicago Sky fans actually basketball fans, or just Angel Reese content fans? Because what I saw on the court suggests her role might be much smaller than her followers are expecting.
Last year, she had some huge off-season development with Unrivaled, and Angel is primed.
One person I'd love to see play in person, and that is Camila Cardoso. You guys know I have been driving this bus.
The team's identity might run through someone else entirely. Let's examine the actual events that transpired during Angel Reese's WNBA preseason debut. She only made 2 of 8 field goals. It's a 25% shooting rate. That's difficult to witness from a player with so much fanfare behind her. Regardless of who you are, Angel wasn't making the layups she usually does. It's clear that we still need to practice those layup workouts. Napheesa Collier was on the opposite side, cooking, while Reese was making shots and appeared to be completely lost on defense. In a mere 26 minutes of play, Napheesa gave up 26 points.
I mean, go look at that streak and the win-loss record. It's pretty amazing watching that downward trend.
Hall of Fame. Chicago Sky got 2 talented bigs, talented players on both ends of the floor.
She has the rebounding, she has the toughness, she has the swag, and ultimately she is one of the most vocal players.
That efficiency of 1 point per minute demonstrates the enormous difference between a well-established star and a youngster who is still figuring things out. It hurt to see how different these 2 players were from one another. Reese was only able to make 25% of her field goals, whereas Collier shot an amazing 61.5%. You know what's worse though? The defense. Reese watched Fee backdoor to the rim for a layup on several occasions without even attempting to challenge the play. Those possessions require little effort. Let's discuss rebounding, which is said to be Angel's forte. In a game where she should be strong at grabbing rebounds, Reese only managed 4. At the professional level, those rebound totals and double-doubles are going to become less important. That won't hold up against mature women who have years of professional playing experience. Collier, meantime, was controlling the game in every way. She demonstrates why she is a seasoned star in this league by scoring goals whenever she wants, grabbing rebounds, and making deft passes. With each possession, the disparity in basketball IQ was evident.
Said she is the dominant player on the Chicago Sky team. Everything would run through her.
You don't, but especially with these bigs, when you have a low post big like her, if you're not feeding her the ball, she's not going to be engaged.
Fans of Reese are already making excuses. They are accusing her of not receiving calls, blaming referees, and citing WNBA conspiracy theories. The tape, however, is truthful. The player in question was just unprepared for this level of competition. The harsh reality is that Angel Reese appeared to be a rookie with promise who requires time to get used to the WNBA's speed and skill. This is no longer college. However, Angel Reese's supporters will not be pleased with how she will be used in this offense. This discrepancy in performance goes beyond a single poor performance. It may be the first indication that Reese's job on the Sky won't live up to the expectations of her admirers.
Angel Reese is much closer to being a content creator, a C-list, D-list celebrity.
Chicago Sky, especially as a young player, which is just kind of fascinating to see. She is a 6'3" power forward from LSU. Last season, she averaged 13.6 points a game.
Last year, I think it was pretty obvious that happened. And the Sky, during that double-double streak, they tanked and fell off the map.
There is a real adjustment phase, and it may take longer than anyone expected. While everyone is going crazy over Angel Reese, Kamilla Cardoso quietly scored 13 points on 57% shooting, pulled down 8 rebounds, and blocked 3 shots. This is something that is going unnoticed. No one is discussing that. The plans of the Chicago Sky may differ greatly from what Reese supporters anticipate. It appears like Cardoso, not Reese, is being positioned as the team's real focal point. Have you noticed how they were manipulating her? It's obvious that the coaching staff has more faith in her judgment than in their well-known youngster. This poses a significant challenge to the Sky's marketing plan. Reese has created a lot of buzz, and her name is being used to sell tickets and jerseys. However, in terms of basketball, Cardoso might be the best choice to lead the offense at the moment. The figures are honest.
Saw that a lot last year. And I see a lot of people was giving her a hard time. And I kept telling people, look, she's coming off a shoulder injury. You got to give her time to recover.
Angel and Kamilla are the huge bright spots for the Chicago Sky team for the future. And Kamilla Cardoso, towering at 6'7".
What's more bizarre, in her few minutes, even Haley Van Lith shot 75%. On the offensive end, the Sky have a number of choices that might be more effective than Reese. The coaching staff must decide whether to highlight their most effective athlete or their most marketable player. They appear to be more interested in basketball outcomes than social media metrics based on these preseason minutes. Did you notice how Cardoso used those 3 blocks to manipulate the paint? Based on what we observed, Reese is just not providing that level of genuine rim protection. Reese kept getting scored on, while Cardoso was changing shots left and right. Whether Chicago supporters are true basketball lovers or only Angel Reese fans is the real question, because when Cardoso takes the lead in this offense, they will be let down if they are the latter. We can already see that the club is starting to focus on Cardoso's skills, rather than trying to give Reese opportunities solely because of her name. Chicago may need to acknowledge that Reese requires time to develop, while Cardoso assumes the role of team anchor in light of this preseason performance.
She's a center who has showed flashes of dominance as a rookie. We all saw how she kind of dominated overseas in China.
Now, I think maybe that has to do with getting this young lady the appropriate minutes. Let's not see her minutes.
Saw Kamilla Cardoso get hurt before the season started, and so she missed the first several games, and she kind of played catch up for the remainder of.
Fans who come simply to see the social media sensation won't like that fact. This does not imply that Reese cannot get better. She can, and most likely will. However, there is currently a huge discrepancy between expectations and reality, and Cardoso is putting out the strongest argument to be the center of attention for the Sky. If Reese chooses a role other than the one that made her famous in college, she may end up having a career high in assists and a significant increase in field goal percentage. Will she be willing to take that step back? That is the question. Even if it's only preseason, many Reese fans aren't prepared to hear what these early performances reveal. In her debut season, Angel may wind up playing a supporting role rather than being a star. Cardoso will, in the meantime, run through the team's identity.
As your offense had no structure. You had too many players on the basketball court felt like they was the best player on the court.
Kamilla Cardoso is going to be healthy coming into the regular season, because that was a thing for her.
It will be crucial in the coming weeks. In WNBA competition, will Reese be able to adapt to playing away from the rim, or will her admirers have to drastically reduce their hopes? Reese's struggles aren't even the main plot point. The question is whether Chicago first assembled their team around the best rookie. With 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 blocks, Cardoso may already be providing the solution.